Great. Good morning, sir. All right, so State, do you know if that's the case?
That's true, Your Honor.
Great.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Mr. Flowers?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Elizabeth Damron is on your docket. Your Honor.
Yes.
I had anticipated, and I was incorrect, that Ms. Damron would be entering a plea that the state had offered. She, in good faith, doesn't wish to do that and has told me outside that that is the case. And so we're not prepared to do that. Ms. Damron is not comfortable with entering the plea as the state proposed, and that Ms. Damron and I discussed in my office yesterday. And so she, in good faith, is not comfortable with that. And so, Judge, I can't move forward, not blaming anyone, but that's where we are.
All right.
And so I would anticipate the court wishing to place this on a trial docket in the state.
The state will be ready for trial next cycle. It's not for this cycle, obviously, but this case has been around for quite a long time.
It has. Now, and I agree with the states. We haven't had it for a long time, but it has.
Yes, I saw that you
Yes, Your
came
Honor.
on the case in November. I'm aware of that.
Yes, Your Honor. And Ms. Damron, in good faith, has discussed her concerns with me yesterday. And Judge, if you would set it, we would anticipate motion practice, a brief motion, that I would coordinate with the state in your office.
Okay, so the case is pretty old. I understand you just came on the case.
Yes, Your Honor.
But this is a really, really old case.
It is.
I understand there was a delay throughout the case for another matter, but
Yes.
I'm not going to be inclined to grant a lot of time.
I
So,
respect
yeah.
that, and I think what the state requested is
Yeah.
not inconsistent with what we would deem to be appropriate either, Judge.
Sure. So what I'll do is set the case for pretrial on April 14th, and that'll be at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
If you are going to file motions, file them quickly.
I will.
Because this will likely be the last continuance.
Understood. Understood, Your Honor. That's
All
all
right.
we have. Thank you.
Sure. If you have a motion that's going to take more than 30 minutes, contact my
Less than-
office.
okay.
And we will get it set so we can keep the case on track.
Very well.
All
Will
right.
do. Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Durrell?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Please the court, Dustin Durrell. Your Honor, I'm here covering for Ms. Dudley. Ms. Dudley has Mr. Zachary Brunson, 23 CF 436 and 23 CF 475.
All right, he's in custody, so he'll be out momentarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe he has a new law case.
Yes, Your Honor, 25 CF 150.
Yes.
Mr. Brunson. Ms. Dudley is asking to continue the 2 violation cases to track with the new law case. She says she has recently received discovery, is reviewing that. She wants me to let you know as soon as she's done. She'll come up and talk to you about it, okay? Yes, sir. So would just request a continuance to the April date, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see when the new law is set. Oh, I think it's April 14th, actually.
April 14th?
Yes, so he will, Mr. Brunson, you'll probably still be in custody, so perhaps I should set it on the 16th then, all of them.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So April 16th at 9, and let's put the new law on that day as well, 25 CF 150. So all 3 cases will be set on April 16th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, if I may, I don't believe I'm on the docket under his name, but Mr. Franklin Applewhite, I had previously represented him.
Yes.
I was discussing with the state possible early termination. He actually filed his own motion for it, if I may call him, though.
Absolutely. I
Mr.
was looking at
Applewhite?
his case last night.
And Your Honor, it's my understanding the state has no objection to termination of probation at this time.
No, Your Honor, the state contacted the Xavier County probation officer there. He has completed all requirements. He's paid. In fact, probation did inform me that he possibly may have even overpaid and has a credit. So maybe check with that. But so the state absolutely has no objection to him early terminating.
All right, and this is case 23 CF 749. Mr. Applewhite, if you'll just tell me your name, please.
Yes, ma'am. Franklin Applewhite.
Thank you. I read your letter, your motion, and I looked at your case, and I just want to commend you. You have done everything that the court has asked you to do. You have had no violations. You've completed everything. You've done all of your requirements, and it wasn't easy. I saw that you had 6 months community control, and you've been on drug offender probation,
Yes, ma'am.
and that's difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Everyone in here is proud of you. I was excited to read your motion and to look at your case and to see how well you have done.
Thank you,
And I
ma'am.
wish you the best. So absolutely, I'm granting your motion, and good luck, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So probation is terminated.
Thank you. Would you like me to submit a proposed order, Your Honor?
That would be wonderful.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll get that in this
Thank
afternoon.
you. Thank you.
I believe that's all I have, Your Honor.
Great, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mr. Williams?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I have Rodick Bridges. That's, and he's approaching here. It's a 19 CF 2270, Your Honor. You appointed me last week, I think it was exactly a week ago today. And so obviously I haven't had a chance to talk to Mr. Bridges, talk to the state, review the discovery and that sort of thing. So I'm asking for a continuance.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure, I looked at the docket, I'm not sure if his prior two attorneys officially entered a denial, but I guess I'll go ahead and do that today.
All right. So we will grant a continuance to March 18th at 9.
All right. And that's the only one I have, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Just so you,
Good to see you.
I'll come back to you.
All right, do I have any other private attorneys present? I know we're waiting on a couple. They have court in other courtrooms, so Mr. Harper?
Yes, Judge, I got two on today's docket. This should be relatively quick.
Okay,
Andrew Atkins is number 17 on the docket. He is present and approaching before the court on 23 CF 1748. Judge, part of really fundamentally the sole basis for the violation is 24 MM 3978. That's a misdemeanor, I think disorderly conduct, and that's set before Judge Schlechter on March the 3rd. What I'm asking, and the state doesn't have an objection, is if we can continue it past that date. I anticipate hopefully that disorderly conduct will be dismissed. The first appearance judge found no probable cause and actually cited case law. So I'd ask to move that to a miscellaneous date in March and anticipate come to a resolution on that next date.
any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
March 18th at 9. Sir, stay in touch with your lawyer, okay? Yes, all right.
The next case I have, Judge, is Xavier Banks. He is in custody.
24 CF 1509.
Yes, ma'am. Judge, I was recently appointed on this matter, but I've come to a resolution with the states.
But he doesn't score.
Judge Rudy Harper, on behalf of Xavier Banks, 24 CF 1509, At this time, he's going to withdraw his previously entered plea and admit the violation. Actually, I don't know if he's entered a plea, but he's admitted violation this morning. It'll be an adjudication of guilt, 6 months in the Okaloosa County Jail, credit for all time served, be assessed a $100 VOP fee, $150 cost of defense, revoke and terminate his supervision, and he'll have 18 months to pay the costs, or otherwise they'll be sent to judgment. I believe the state will file a score sheet later. He does not score, and this is not a downward departure. You may approach.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, "I do."
I do.
Thank you, sir. You'll put your hand down. Could you state your name, please?
Xavier Banks.
Thank you. In case 24 CF 1509, it's alleged that you violated your probation. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering a plea, you are giving up your right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement? Is that your signature on the back? I need you to answer out
I
loud.
can't see that far.
Oh, here.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you so much. Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he answer all of your questions? Are you admitting to the allegations that you violated your probation? I need you to answer out loud.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. And I will adjudicate you in accordance with your agreement. There will be an adjudication of guilt on the underlying offense, which is a third-degree felony. I'm sentencing you to 6 months in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served. I'm revoking and terminating your supervision. There's a $100 VOP fee, a $150 cost of defense fee, and you'll have 18 months after you are released to pay the costs. Those fees and costs are in addition to whatever other fees and costs were previously assessed. Otherwise, the fees and costs, if you don't pay them in 18 months, they'll go to a judgment and it'll affect your driver's license. In fact, isn't there a mandatory suspension of a driver's license?
Yes, ma'am. I think on the underlying case itself.
Yeah, related to this charge. So you're likely going to get your license suspended based on the charge. That's in the statute. There's nothing I can do about that. I wouldn't have any objection to you getting a business purposes license if you qualify, but that's up to the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you can't afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have to.
Thank you. David Archer, 23 CF 166.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you state your name, please?
David Archer.
Thank you, sir. Can you afford a lawyer?
No, public defender.
All right. Have you filled out the form to get a public defender?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we've got some forms for you to fill out. They're not here at the moment. I think they're talking to their clients, but I'll go ahead and appoint the office of the public defender.
And
And just one second, sir. Ms. Farkas, I'm appointing your office for Mr. Archer. He needs to fill out the form.
You got it. Cool.
And
He'll be
he's-
represented by Steve Medina, who isn't present here right now. But you can call our office. I can give you my card. And then you'll-
And let me find the affidavit, and I'll go ahead and tell you what the allegations are.
Okay. Same phone number.
Sir, it's alleged you violated your probation by committing a new offense in Santa Rosa County, driving while license suspended, habitual offender on November 25th, 2024. That's the basis for the violation. Ms. Farkas,
Yes.
are you entering a denial on behalf of your
Yes.
client?
We will
Thank you.
enter a denial, and we'll set it for the next court date. I've given him my card with Steve's name on it. The office number is the same.
Are some of those address forms up there too? Do you see any? Okay, sir,
Thank you.
Mr. Archer, you need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
fill out that form as well, because I'm worried we don't have a good address, or the clerk doesn't have a good address for you.
Okay.
If you could fill out all of those before you leave the courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then turn them back in to court security, and they'll get them to the clerk, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What will his next court date be, just so I can write it down for him?
March 18th at 9. And Mr. Archer, you
Yeah.
need to contact the public defender's
Yes,
office
ma'am.
and make an appointment to talk to the lawyer before that court date. Don't wait till the day before.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Just fill those things out. Thank you.
Thank you. Andrew Flannery. Good morning. This is case 2020 CF 1030. Could you state your name, please, sir?
Andrew Flannery,
Thank you. Can you afford a lawyer?
a lawyer.
Sorry?
No, I thought I was here for, I finished everything on my,
Whoever phone that is, please turn it off or step out. Please turn off the phone, not just on silent. Go ahead and turn it off. Mr. Flannery, let me pull up your case. I believe you're here on an allegation that you violated your probation, so just bear with me. Oh, yes, okay.
I completed everything, rehab, aftercare, community service, all my payments. It's all been done for 5 months.
Let me check with probation. Do I have somebody here from probation? Thank you. Thank you, because I'm looking and it looks like the only allegation of violation was failure to pay cost payments, and this was in middle of January. The balance was $443.21. That was the sole violation, so probation's checking on that.
I got my receipts, and my probation officer said she can see it on it, they just ain't released it or something like that. But all my stuff's been paid for over 5 months.
Okay, let's check on it.
Your Honor, I'm showing that it still owes
$16.29.
I don't see how, but I can't argue with him, but I got all my receipts and
Okay.
all my electronic pays and everything. I don't see how I missed anything, but
My suggestion, if he goes and pays the $16, I will dismiss the violation of probation based on substantial compliance.
Okay. Is that in court costs or cost of supervision?
Court costs.
I can pay it now if need be.
Unfortunately, I can't take money and be done at the clerk.
Okay.
The clerk is showing a balance of $326.92. So you said you have all of your receipts?
Yes, I have them. I have money order receipts, and then my electronic pay is in the computer. So
Okay.
right here's my 2 receipts for my pay, the ones I sent in.
So,
The payment is still pending in our system,
Yeah.
so it looks like the department hasn't released the funds to the court. So that's kind of where we're at, but I'm still showing like $16, some change left.
where would he pay that $16? Does he pay it through probation, or can he walk to the clerk's office downstairs and pay it?
Well, if he walks downstairs and pays it, then it creates some complications.
Okay.
So he can go on correct pay, and I'll give you the instructions for that, make the $16 payment, and then we can close out the case.
Would he be
Okay, I
able to
can-
sit down with you, and are you able to pay that on your phone?
I can do that right now, yeah,
He
I've
can
done
do
it.
his phone if he has the app.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
And then we might be able to call you back up in a few minutes,
Yeah, it'd be great.
and as long as I get confirmation, then the state's willing to dismiss everything.
Okay.
So if you'll just sit down with the probation officer, and let's see if we can call you back up shortly. I think I saw Mr. Nopes.
Judge, I've got Elliot Bell for a bond hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, can you approach on this?
Yes.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your...
So Judge, we're here on Mr. Bell, and I think the state, we approached the bench a second ago, and they've got a request, so we could hear what the state's asking for.
All right, and this is case 24 CF 992, 24 CF 993, and 24 CF 1096. Elliot Bell. And state is asking for continuance on the hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
For the reasons stated at the bench, that will be granted. I'm trying to find you a good day to reset. Let me take a look at March 20th.
Judge, that works for me. If I could just ask that y'all hold him so long enough for me to speak to him after my next hearing. Okay, I'll talk to you.
So we could, well, I'm hesitant to put this on March 18th. I'd rather put it on the 20th.
For the 18th?
The 20th, the March 20th.
Judge, that clears with me.
In the afternoon after arraignments.
That's fine.
So we'll say 2:30, but it's sort of a cattle call after I finish arraignments. So it might be a little later than that, but March 20th at 2:30. And instead of putting Mr. Bell on the 18th just for a VOP day, we'll just do everything on the 20th. So that'll be his docket call as well.
All right.
And then I think he's probably already on April 16th.
Judge, he's on, well, we said, I wrote April 14th. Is it the
14th.
Okay.
We'll just leave him set on that, but we'll see where we are as well on the 20th of March with this hearing, and then if we need to move him to a different date for his pretrial, we will.
Absolutely.
Right now, he's got March 20th at 2:30 for this bond hearing that's being continued, and then he'll just remain on the docket for April 14th for pretrial.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Judge, I also have William Thornton for a bond hearing. Judge, Mr. Thornton's cases started, started some time ago. Judge, he was arrested on October 28th of 23, and at the time of the arrest, when they did the first appearance paperwork for the first appearance judge, they had put in there that they believed that he was a violent felony offender of special concern. As a result, he had a violation of probation on first appearance, and we all know that if you're a violent felony offender of special concern, the judge is not allowed to set you a bond even if they want to. So that that basically messed up his situation of trying to get bonds and get out. It's now, we're here today, and in December, I had filed a motion to determine if he was or wasn't, and the state ultimately stipulated that he was not a violent felony offender of special concern, and therefore, he would have been entitled to a bond of some form or fashion on the new charges, as well as he could have been given a bond on his violation of probation. Ultimately, we stand here today, and I believe he's got a $1,500 bond on resisting without violence, a $5,000 bond on the larceny, and $5,000 bond on the criminal mischief case, but no bond on his VOP. We're asking the court to consider setting him a bond on his violation of probation case.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. I concede with my colleague, and that is how the record has been, at least as far as what he's talking about is concerned. What the state is concerned with is that on March 14th, 2024, there was a furlough hearing where the defendant was granted a furlough to, can't remember, if either go to a funeral or see a dying parent.
It was that. I have the motion here.
So he was allowed the furlough for one day with GPS.
Excuse me one second. Is that the same phone that went off earlier? If so, that gentleman needs to remain out of the courtroom until his case is called.
So he was granted a furlough for a day with GPS. And the story goes, as far as the state knows, he cut the GPS, didn't show back up when he was supposed to. So in order to ensure the defendant's presence in court, we believe that he should be held on no bond for his violations of probation, and we also believe he's not entitled to bond on the violation of probation regardless. That's our position. And I do have the minutes, but I know that Your Honor probably has already seen them. If you take judicial notice instead of me entering them into evidence.
The court minutes?
Court minutes from March 14th, 2024.
I've reviewed the court file. I've got the motion for furlough filed on March 11th, 2024, which states that the defendant had been held on no bond since October 28th, 2023. His father was suffering from cancer and has been given a short time to live. He has no prior failures to appear. He was granted that furlough by Judge Ketchel. Then the state on March 20th, 2024 filed a motion for order to take into custody for violation of court-ordered furlough because Mr. Thornton didn't show back up when he was supposed to at the jail after being granted a furlough. So then on March 21st, Judge Ketchel entered an order to take defendant into custody for violation of the furlough. Mr. Thornton was on the run for 2 months before he was finally arrested on that order to take into custody on what should have been a furlough for less than 24 hours. He's not entitled to a bond on a VOP. And this is the one time Judge Ketchel granted a furlough. And he talks about that, as in he's granted one furlough. It'll be the first and last because Mr. Thornton absconded when he was let out of jail for a compelling reason. And with all due respect, denied on multiple grounds. The furlough, he's not entitled to a bond on a violation of probation, so therefore no bond on that, furlough or not. There'd be a no bond on the VOP because he's picked up new charges. And after absconding, after being granted a furlough, and had to be hunted down 2 months later and arrested and dragged back. So under no circumstances would the court consider a bond today?
Yes, ma'am, he wishes to say something, but it's your court.
Sir, defer to your attorney. If you want to say something, go ahead. It's not likely going to change my ruling.
I'm going to tell you right now, you can tell. I mean, if you want to say it, go ahead and say it, but it's your call.
Yes, ma'am. Can I just say that I couldn't leave my dad. I had to make amends with my dad before he passed away. And if I wouldn't have been wrongfully labeled as a violent felony offender, I would have had a bond and all
No,
this wouldn't
sir.
have happened.
No,
They had
sir.
me mislabeled.
Doesn't matter. You're not entitled to a bond on a violation of probation, even if you're not a violent felony of special concern.
I've been here for 16 months.
Well, then you ought to resolve your cases then, make plans to do that. But I'm not letting you out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Nopes, will you please send an order?
Do you want me to send it over saying motion denied?
Please.
I will.
Thank you.
Yeah, hold on for a minute until I can talk to him.
Sure, come on, right this way.
Mr. Thornton already set for next court date, March 18th, or is it on April 16th? Perfect, thank you.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
Mr. Flannery is ready to be recalled.
That is great. All right, Andrew Flannery, 2020 CF 1030. Yes, sir. Is everything taken care of, Mr. Sprouse?
On this case, I spoke with probation. They said that Mr. Flannery has paid all of his court costs. Therefore, the state is going to dismiss the violation of probation based on substantial compliance.
Wonderful, thank you. How much more does Mr. Flannery have on probation? I'm just curious. Thank you, sir, for taking care of that.
Yeah. Actually, Your Honor, Judge Ketchel, he just extended it because I had to do aftercare. He just extended my time a little bit so I could make my payments. So actually, this was supposed to been resolved back in, I think, like over 6 months ago. So.
Let me take a look.
March 7th, so
Yeah.
a few days, maybe a few weeks.
Like in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
In the minute sheet does reflect to auto term upon completion. They extended it a year on March 19th last year in the minute sheet.
Yes, the order says that too. This is the order of modification that was entered on March 21st, 2024, and it states, may auto terminate upon successful completion of Keaton and aftercare. And of course, after you complete all your requirements.
Yes, Your Honor.
Probation, has he completed aftercare and all of his requirements? Then, is there any objection?
Dismissal. No, we're dismissing the violation of probation because he's completed
All
his
right.
requirements and paid the court cost.
Congratulations,
Which is better
sir.
than, that's really good that he was able to pay everything and not have a lien on his license.
Absolutely. Sounds like you have turned things around from where you were back when you were seeing Judge Ketchel, and it sounds like you're doing really well.
I am.
Everyone in this courtroom is happy for you, and we wish you the best. So probation is terminated. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Your Honor, thank you.
Successfully completed and terminated. Thank you. Alejandro del Toro Ortega, 23 CF 2377, 24 CF 834, and 24 CF 1392. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, can you afford a lawyer?
No, not at the moment.
Sorry?
Not at the moment.
Would you like me to appoint one?
Sure.
All right, you'll need to fill out a form,
Okay.
and if court security can provide a form.
So,
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Office of the Public Defender, but before you leave the courtroom, you need to fill out that form, make sure you complete all the questions. Also, there should be an address form up there to fill out, so make sure the clerk has the most current address for you.
okay, yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Farkas,
Yes.
Are you
He'd
entering-
like to enter a denial, please.
All
And request
right.
the next court date.
that would be March 18th at 9. And to probation, I did review these cases. If there are any further violations after today, I'm requesting a warrant. I'm not issuing one now, but if there are any further violations from here on out, there will be a warrant and it will have no bond. So. March 18th at 9, you need to see the public defender's office prior to that court date, and please give those forms to court security when you finish filling them out. Thank you. Deborah Scoville, 19 CF 3322.
Your Honor, that case the affidavit was dismissed.
Oh, great. Thank you. Is that Ms. Scoville?
No.
Oh, okay. So Scoville, the affidavit has been dismissed. That's 19 CF 3322.
Correct, and her probation is terminated under normal conditions.
That's great news. Thank you. Alisi Castillo, 2020 CF 1732.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Alisi Castillo.
Thank you. And I received your request for early termination.
Yes, Your Honor. I've done everything the court asked me to do except for the court fines, but I do have a $200 monthly coming out of my account.
Okay. It looks like on June 14th, 2021, you were adjudicated guilty of the underlying offense, which was a second-degree felony. You were placed on 5 years probation. Since then, you've had 1 technical violation and 2 actual violations that the court got involved in. In March 2023, you were restored to probation. Then you got a new law violation in April 2024. That would be 24 CF 787. On June 12, 2024, probation was modified to 12.1 months of community control, and then the balance after that would be served on probation. I also want to point out you got a downward departure on March 21st, 2023. You scored 38 months prison. I've been advised that the state and the probation officer don't object to converting the balance of your community control to probation, but they do object to early termination. So let me make sure that's still the case.
That is still the state's position, Your Honor.
Okay. And same with probation. So, sir, once you've had violations, I'm not inclined to early terminate, especially when I've got state objecting and probation objecting. But since they don't object to converting the balance of your community control to regular probation, then I'm inclined to do that. But I'm not terminating your probation early. Does that make sense?
And so which one, what's getting terminated?
Well, you're on community control right now, right?
Correct.
And you've still got,
I got like 4 months of community control and a year of probation.
so what's being terminated is you're being taken off community control 4 months early,
Yes, ma'am.
but the length of your probation will continue. I mean, it's not being shortened, it's just you're being taken off community control and restored back to regular probation for the
Yes.
balance of the term.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I will modify to remove community control and just the normal balance of your probation, whatever it was, will be served on regular probation instead of community control for the next few months.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
What's the possibility of me coming back for, to try to early term the rest of the probation?
Well, maybe I didn't make myself clear.
I can't at all.
Sorry. So you've had 2 violations of probation. You've had 1 technical violation and 2 actual violations where the court got involved. In one of those, in March of 2023, you scored prison. You scored 38 months prison. You got a downward departure and got restored to probation.
You said March 2023?
Yes, March 21st,
Oh, I
2023.
was just marking the dates. Thank you.
So you had two violations of your probation. You got restored and modified both times. So once somebody's had a violation of probation, I'm not inclined to terminate their probation early. You probably saw a gentleman earlier today who did get his probation terminated early. He had had no violations. He had been a model probationer. He had paid everything. He had done everything with 0 violations. So I happily terminated his probation. You've had 2 violations that the court got involved in, a technical violation that the court didn't take action on, so that's actually 3. So I'm not inclined to terminate your probation early. You're free to file a motion if you wish. I'm just letting you know that I'm not inclined to terminate your probation early when there have been violations.
I got you, Your Honor.
Yeah, but the state and your probation officer don't object to taking you off community control early. But you're still going to be on probation for the full length of time, just not on community control anymore.
Yes, Your Honor.
So-
Thank you.
Sure. So will probation be sending an order on that? Thank you. All right.
I thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Farkas, are you ready to start calling your cases? I have one more out of custody or in custody person who doesn't have an attorney. I could call that individual.
I have a couple out of custody clients
Okay.
who we could handle.
All right.
I would like to do that.
Yes.
Preston.
Sorry. Perfect. Thank you.
Preston Davis, 23 CF 199. He is present and approaching.
Okay.
I've been speaking with Ms. Basso about this case. I think that we will be able to resolve it at the next VOP date if we could have one last continuance.
That's without objection, ma'am. We have been talking about a possible resolution.
All right. So probation, if there are any further violations, I do want a warrant. Thank you. And I'm noting there is a 5-year suspended Department of Corrections.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sentence.
We've been discussing that, and Mr. Davis has been.
Okay. This is his 3rd VOP.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Basso
Okay.
and I have been discussing it. But
All right.
Mr. Davis has been in very regular contact with our office, and it's
Okay.
not a problem.
March 18th at 9.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. Your Honor, next up I have Lacy Sutton, 19 CF 984 and 19 CF 983. Your Honor, the issue in this case, the VOP stems from restitution payments. I believe that the state and I have come to an agreement about extending the period of probation to allow her to continue to pay the restitution. I didn't write it up yet, so I will need 1 second to write it up if that's what we're going to be doing. So I wanted to appear just.
Thank you.
That is correct. It appears that Ms. Sutton has been making payments around $200 a month, and then last month she paid what's been relayed to me about $1,300. So she is making progress towards paying back the restitution to the victims. And we're going to bring her back in 6 months and see how she's doing. That's what the agreement is.
So I think that I still need to write up a VOP plea agreement, so I apologize. We were working that out here in court. So
No
I'll do
problem.
that, and then we'll have to recall the case.
Thank
Take
you.
care of it. Thank you. Your Honor, I do have Jial Drones. This is it's not a VOP, it's
A motion.
yes, Your Honor. So I don't know
Okay.
if you'd like to handle that now.
Yes, that would be great. This is case 24 CF 15, and the state filed a motion to modify sentence.
That is correct, Your Honor. When the defendant entered the sentence, there was a term that was left off inadvertently by counsel. So we filed a motion within the time frame so we can modify the sentence and add that provision. I have been in contact with the defense, but I haven't gotten an answer to whether this is going to be contested. If it is contested, we would ask for a hearing to have the victim, but I do have documentation supporting their claims.
Okay. Your Honor, it's, I suppose that it is contested in the sense that Mr. Drones accepted the plea agreement. The state attorney reviewed the plea agreement as it was written up back in December. He accepted the plea on December 9th. Of course, mistakes happen, but if just over $700 restitution was being asked, that may have changed Mr. Drones' mind about accepting the plea agreement. It's a significant amount of money. The cost of probation is being waived for Mr. Drones, but that's because he doesn't have the ability to pay a large sum of money, and he has the court costs as well that he's already paying. I do have the restitution form that was given to me in discovery when the case was first opened. So the state was aware that the complainant was requesting an amount of restitution, but it was not included in the plea agreement that all parties signed.
And that cuts both ways. The defense was aware of the restitution as well and didn't put it in the agreement.
Sounds like we need to schedule a hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this something that you would need to address in front of Judge Ketchel, since he's the one that imposed the sentence?
I'm not actually sure.
Okay.
I believe that's up to the defendant, Judge.
We are okay with Your Honor hearing it for the sake of ease. That's okay with us.
Stay fine with that.
Okay. So I'm going to need some case law
Yes, Your Honor.
from the attorneys supporting your position on this. And let's figure out when we can set it. Now, I could put it on March 18th. It would likely be.
Will Your Honor be here that you will not be?
Somebody's going to cover for me that day. I've got to be out of town.
We could be
So-
ready on March 18th, that's fine.
State's not going to be ready on March 18th. We're going to have to send out subs, and then we have a trial gearing up to
Okay.
that. So we would ask for a date after your honors trial week, April, to be early April.
Defense is flexible.
Okay.
April's fine.
Looks like we have April 22nd. Let me just look at that real quick. April 22nd at 9 o'clock.
That works for us.
State will be here.
And at some point, more than just the day before.
Yes.
And just give me more than 24 hours. I will need case law from both sides on
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
And if you file it in the court file, I won't be able to see it, so email it to Amanda.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank
Not a
you.
problem.
Donna, do we want to set that as a restitution hearing or another motion to modify sentence?
It's going to be a motion to modify sentence. And let's bring out that inmate. Thank you. Good morning, I'm Judge Clark. Can you tell me your name?
Gerardo Hernandez Soto.
Case number 23 CF 1232 and 24 CF 1356. Sir, you're here on a violation of probation. Can you afford a lawyer, sir?
No, ma'am.
Would you like me to appoint one?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender.
I'm sorry, what was your name, sir?
This is
Gerardo Hernandez Soto.
And Ms. Farkas, it's 23 CF 1232 and 24 CF 1356.
You will be represented by Mr. Gates, who is here now.
Wonderful. Mr. Gates, I just appointed you to Mr. Hernandez Soto's cases.
Yes, Your Honor. If we can set Mr. Hernandez Soto's case for the March 20th docket, I'm going to try to do that. Most of mine I'll be out of town until the 17th, so the 18th is going to be a bit of a push. So if I could do afternoon of the 20th, and then I'll give time to meet with Mr. Hernandez Soto.
All right, March 20th at 2:30.
That'll work, Your Honor.
That'll be after arraignments.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And are you entering a denial? I'm assuming you are. Just put that down as a denial. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. It's not in the aisle.
Thank you. Ms. Farkas or Mr. Gates, would either of you like to call any other out-of-custody people?
I have no out of custody this morning, Your Honor.
All right, well, what about you, Ms. Farkas? Did we
I
take
have-
care of?
Apologize, Your Honor. I have one, James Devers, 24 CF 752 and 25 CF 0048.
Yes.
I spoke with Mr. Devers on the phone, excuse me, last week and informed the state attorney and probation. He's checked himself into a rehabilitation program in Panama City. So I'd like to enter a denial on his behalf and continue it to the next date. All the parties are aware of what's going on, so.
Can we approach on this?
Yes.
Client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Cyclone Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area.
So on Mr. Devers, 24 CF 752, I did issue an order revoking his ROR bond. That order should be in your inbox now, because the ROR warrant was issued prior to him picking up a new law violation, which is 25 CF 48. So I guess whenever he gets picked up on the warrant, then he'll get set on the next date. Do you show what day his new law is? 25 CF 48 is probably on the April 14th. 25 CF 48. He's set for April 14th on the new law case, 25 CF 48. So we'll see what happens on that day, but he may get picked up before then, and if so, we'll put him on the next available date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I believe that's all of my out-of-custody clients for right now. We will have to recall Ms. Sutton once I finish writing that.
Sure.
So are we just waiting until it gets picked up on that one and then?
Thank you. So Mr. Gates or Ms. Farkas, do you want your in-custody people to start being called?
If we could take a break, that probably would be helpful. Your Honor, I've got some plea agreements I got to send back.
All right.
Mr. Medina, do you have any?
I have out of custody, and then I'm going to be, Your Honor, working up a couple of agreements. We'll have a couple of continuances, and then I was just informed that Ms. Bony is my client, so I was trying to look up her report. But I can take some of my clients now if that's convenient to the court.
Let's go ahead and do that.
And then I will at least advise the court the ones we're writing up.
Okay.
I'm going to just put my box over here so that we can at least get a couple people out of the court. Because Miss Boney is just now told me she was, is Miss Boney, come on out. She's pregnant, Judge, and just got out of jail yesterday, so we may want to get her out quicker, but I'm trying to look up her recommendation. I don't see the VOP report.
22 CF 1571, 23 CF 1217.
My prosecutor is momentarily not in the room, Judge, so.
Okay, well, I'll just.
I may better just wait until Ms. Gaynor gets back. I apologize for that, Judge.
No problem.
So just have a seat for a minute and we'll get the prosecutor. Thank you. So we probably need to do some things.
Or break if the court would be glad to do that too. Give us time to
Judge, Ms. Gaynor is on her way back to the court.
Ms. Gaynor is about to walk in the courtroom.
I do have A couple in custody people who I am writing up offers for right now, but a couple will just be continuances, if we want to take care of those. Okay, sure. Garrett, Crim, last name Crim. Sure. William Davis. Okay. Dubois. And Warrior. And Flippin, actually, those are most of them. So I'm happy to do this.
I apologize, Judge, for the back and forth. Can
No
I go
problem.
ahead and take Ms. Boney now?
Yes.
Ms. Boney, oh boy, she parked in the back of the courtroom, so that's a long walk for her. Your Honor, Steve Medina for Ms. Britney Bony. It looks like the recommendation was going to be revoke and terminate. Could the state clarify?
It's not gonna be a revoke and terminate. She did pick up a new law just a couple of days ago. The state would be requesting her bond be revoked based on her being on probation committing a new law offense.
I think she got bonded out.
Yeah.
Was there not a VOP warrant served at that time?
I believe she did get a bond on her VOP, but then just a couple days ago, 3 days ago, just picked up a misdemeanor case, and I've got the case number here for you, Your Honor. 25 MM 345.
I think it's a false ID. In any event, if we can momentarily pause on that, Judge. My understanding is she got out of jail yesterday, and she is pregnant, and I'm wondering what the state's recommendation is going to be on the VOP.
Learned of this new VOP, or this new law, when I walked in this morning, so I don't have an amended offer at this time, because I haven't looked at that case yet.
But the previous offer in any event was going to be incarceration.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I'm going to try to look up to see if there was any, at first appearance, any discussion of this, Judge. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was looking.
It looks like there was a $1,000 bond issued on the VOP when she was, did you bond out then?
Yeah, I bonded him yesterday.
Okay, so it looks like she's, so well, I guess what the state is saying, well, then now there's another charge, so there could be an amended VOP, but she was just given bond yesterday by the court in full knowledge that she had picked up a new charge because it also gave her a $1,000 cash or professional in that case.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the first appearance paperwork. It was filed yesterday, February 17th. It looks like the first appearance occurred over the weekend. It was with Judge Ketchel on February 16th, which was 2 days ago. And Ms. Boney was in there on the new charge, which is case number 25MM345, and also the allegation of violation of probation. And he granted a bond on the VOP.
Your Honor, I don't think it'll take long for us to evaluate whether the state is going to have to seek a VOP evidentiary hearing. Can we have a short continuance of maybe, I don't know, what is it sufficient duration, no more than mid-March, something like that? March 20th or something?
I was just looking at something else. It looks like on February 16th, that was first appearance this past Sunday, 2 days ago. And the first appearance paperwork states that the state was requesting bond be revoked on the violation of probation because there was a bond on that. And obviously I wasn't at first appearance, so I don't know what happened, but Judge Ketchel did grant a $1,000 bond.
Your Honor, may I just inquire of my client the status? Are you having you're supposed to have your baby in March?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. I might have said she was 7 months pregnant. She's 7 weeks pregnant, but she's due in 7 weeks, right? Or something like that?
36 weeks pregnant.
Okay, well, I won't do the math. but-
That might have something, that might have factored into the decision of Judge Ketchel to give a bond. Not sure.
Can we enter a denial and schedule a VOP without subs?
And, ma'am,
Unless the state wants to go ahead and do it with subs, but once we look into it, there may not be any factual issues. I just don't know. When is your baby due?
ma'am, if you haven't filled out the application for the court-appointed lawyer, I will need you to do that, and also the address form to make sure the clerk has your most current address.
Your Honor, we may need some address forms. Oh, here they are. Okay, good. So just have a seat, Ms. Boney, and
We'll schedule the case for March 18th at 9 o'clock. And to probation, if there are any further violations, please send me a warrant. Thank you.
This is without subpoena, Your Honor?
However y'all would like to.
I would request without subpoenas, just to avoid inconveniencing the state or the court. We may be able to work it out, or at least avoid a evidentiary hearing.
That'll be fine.
Thank you. You may sit down wherever's convenient, and then,
Yes, ma'am, fill that out and give it back to court security before you leave. Make sure you answer every question on the form or it won't be accepted by the clerk, okay?
and don't leave without me having a look at it, okay?
Yes, and ma'am, you need to make an appointment to talk to Mr. Medina prior to March 18th. It is going to be a condition of your bond to stay in touch with your lawyer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is going to be Tracy Ayers. Your Honor, Tracy Ayers is before the court in 23 CF 2070, and then there was a misdemeanor case that was riding along with it, 24 CT 715, because they were both resolved at the same time. Basically, my understanding is she's doing 3 consecutive 1129 probations, but it's in the felony division because it's a CF case. But she's wanting to reinstate. My understanding is she's back doing the classes that she needed to be doing and was trying to, by that, respond to the probation instructions or inclination to have her get back in treatment. So we would ask that we be allowed to enter denial. She's apparently, like I said, doing better. So if we could continue this to March 18th or thereabouts without subpoenas, we can look into the situation more fully. You can set an appointment. Okay.
State?
Your Honor, the state would be ready to set this for a evidentiary hearing. It's more than just not completing things, there's also failed drug test here.
That's true.
Yes, quite a bit, actually.
And I've discussed with Ms. Ayers what she's inclined to do. So at this point in time, I don't think we're going to work it out because the state's going to want incarceration, I believe. So I understand the state's position, and we just need to set it for VOP evidentiary. And then she can meet with me and we can see what we can do.
Then let's find a different date. I believe we set something on the morning of March 19th for 2 hours. It was a special day that we opened up.
May I have a moment with her just
Sure.
a second? Because we may be able to avoid evidentiaries.
Sure.
Client, rather than rather than enter a denial, she's inclined to go ahead and admit the violations. For instance, it was testing positive, there were Abbott laboratory confirmations. So if she were to admit that, there's also failure to complete outpatient treatment that she's back in, and failure to answer truthfully. She would admit the VOP, and we could just have it set for that March 19th for sentencing. And then she can talk to me about any witnesses that she wishes to present on her behalf. Is that what you wanted? Yeah. She would prefer not to get sentenced on the spot because she says she has at least one witness beyond herself.
All right, so Mr. Medina, your client wants to enter an admission to the allegations and then just schedule sentencing.
Yes,
like in
Judge,
a month?
and I'm sure the court will want to inquire, but that's my understanding. I'm not pressuring her anyway, but she is advised of that. It would conclude with a sentencing rather than a VOP evidentiary.
State?
State's ready to proceed with sentencing, Your Honor.
All right, and you need a witness present for sentencing, Mr. Medina?
She wants to meet with me and discuss that, so if there's anybody, if we set it for March 19th, that would give me enough time, give her enough time to meet with me and subpoena anybody that I needed to subpoena, hopefully.
And then, of course,
Don't
the state
delay.
would just request disclose the witness, of course.
Oh, yeah, we do a reciprocal. I think it's probably a family or friend.
All right. Ma'am, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, "I do."
I do.
Thank you. Could you state your name?
Tracy Lynn Ayers.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes.
Do you understand that by admitting to the violations, you're giving up your right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the sentence I impose is completely up to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone, including your attorney, promised you a particular sentence? All right. Do you understand that the maximum sentence I could impose would be, looks like
May I have a
probation?
moment with the state?
Sure.
Discuss it with the state if, because there are 3 1129s that are in play. The state has agreed if she goes through with the sentencing hearing, it's in essence a plea to the bench that it would be a cap of 2 1129 rather than 3 1129. So it's 2 years minus 2 days would be the maximum incarceration, and that would be jail. I could write that up.
Maybe we should write that up because the form will go over all of the rights that are being given up and.
Okay, so just have a seat, I'll write that up and go over it with you, okay?
Okay. And then we'll set, if you decide to go through with that, then I'll take the plea and then we'll set the sentencing hearing.
Okay, thank you, sorry to
Sure.
go back and forth on that.
That's no problem.
Next is going to be Bryce Boyette. Your Honor, Bryce D. Boyette is before the court at 23 CF 109. When he was in court on, I think it was January 21st, he indicated he had completed his substance abuse evaluation treatment but needed to go back for his certification. He tells me, he represents that his certification appointment is today, so he doesn't have it in hand. So I'm just asking for the shortest possible continuance so that he could bring his proof back in very quickly. He says he's getting it today.
Yes, sir.
Let's go put him on Thursday, Your Honor.
I was just thinking that. How about Thursday morning?
Okay.
That's in 2 days.
2 days.
Perfect.
February 20th
Yes, ma'am.
at 9. Mr. Medina, I don't know if you're on the 9 o'clock docket. I know I have an afternoon docket as well. Is 9 o'clock good for you, or we can
Yes,
put him on the
I'll-
afternoon?
I'll be here.
All right, 9 o'clock, February 20th. That's in 2 days. Bring that with you,
Good.
or show it to your probation officer, but make sure you have a copy of it with you so you can show your lawyer too, and we can show the state.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, February 20th.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Sure.
I've got, the others, I'm working on 3 agreements, Judge, but I do have one that I can take without some paperwork. Isabella Osborne. Miss Osborne is approaching in 24 CF 2931, which is that's a new law that got transferred for Division 2, so that's not technically on the docket today, but.
Wait, I'm sorry, 1 second. It's, what is the new law?
The new law is 24 CF 2931. I just didn't know if it was on the docket.
That one is not.
But the 23 CF 1685 should be on the docket. That's the VOP. We entered a written plea of not guilty for her. The PD did in Division 2. But now I think she was in Division 2. Now she's in Division 1. And she does want to meet with me. I don't know if the state's prepared to give her a global recommendation, but it looked like Assistant State Attorney Gomez, right? His recommendation was 1129 global. I don't know if that's the state's position.
No, the state's position to include the VOP in the new law would be, she scored, her lowest permissible is 13.5, so 12.1 DOC. I would be willing to downward depart slightly.
So, Your Honor, she needs to meet with me so we can go over the new law case, see if she has any witnesses or defenses. And so I would ask for a denial to be entered in the VOP, and we could just continue everything to to April 14th.
April 14th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did you already do the application
For you?
for the public defender? Did you fill that out? Okay, you'll need to sit down and complete that.
So ma'am, fill that out and fill out the address form to make sure the clerk has your current address, and please turn that into court security before you leave the courtroom. If you will just bear with me for a minute, let me look at something.
I gave you my card, right? So, set a meeting. As soon as you can. Haley Bernard in the courtroom? Cody Brannon in the courtroom?
So to probation in Ms. Osborne's case, if there are any additional violations, please send me a warrant. Thank you. All right, ma'am, I'm setting you on April 14th at 9. Fill out the forms before you leave the courtroom, and you need to make an appointment to see Mr. Medina. That is a condition of your release.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm working on agreements in 3 of my clients' cases. I won't state their names.
That's fine.
But I'll need a brief recess or something to do those.
That's fine. I think Ms. Farkas has a few inmates that we need to see to continue. She's going to request a continuance. We'll take those, then we'll take a break. So, Ms. Farkas, we're going to bring out the inmates you gave their names to court security.
Your Honor, if we could say, there's one female that I want to take, that should take about 5 seconds.
Okay. Mr. Gates, is your client in custody?
She is, Your Honor.
Okay. So as soon as we take care of Ms. Farkas's ones that she gave the names to court security, then we'll call yours, then we'll take a break.
Yes, Your Honor.
In fact, if I find out it might take a little bit to get your client up, then we might take the break, then call your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, excuse me, this is Garrett Crim, 23 CF 1422.
Yes.
Mr. Crim will enter a denial in this case. He has a new law that is the basis for the VOP.
Yes.
His arraignment for that is set for March 13th, but if possible, we can arraign him today, he can enter a plea of not guilty, and we could run both cases. I think he's already on the April docket in the new law case, which is 25 CF 186.
Let me bring it up and make sure that there's an information, and if so, we will go ahead and do his arraignment that way.
There is not yet.
Oh, okay.
New law.
No problem. So,
Yes, this is the first court date on that one, so enter a denial in the VOP.
okay, and then arraignment is,
It's set for March 13th right now in the new law case.
all
I
right,
can-
so we can put the VOP on the docket that day if you wish.
I'm going to file a written plea of not guilty for him.
Okay.
So then everything can just go on the April docket together.
Okay.
If possible. I think I'm waiting on discovery, or I may have recently received it in the new case, so we can start moving forward.
Okay. I will put, let's see, the new one is probably set for April 14th.
Yes.
So I'll just set the VOP case 23 CF 1422 on the same date.
That'd be
If he's
great,
in
thank you.
custody, we'll move it to the 16th. April 14th, pretrial on the new law. We'll still have the arraignment on March 13th on the new law, and the VOP will track. The next court date in the VOP case, the 2023 case, is going to be that April 14th date. Thank you.
William Davis, 23 CF 155 and 24 CF 614.
All right.
Your Honor, I've been in contact with Mr. Davis's probation officer about this one and the state. There is a recommendation from probation for a bars to bed treatment. So whether or not that is what the state is agreeing to, I would like to have him apply for a couple programs and see if we can move in that direction. So he's entered denial in both cases already. So if we could have a continuance to get the applications in, please.
Sure. March 18th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
March 18th.
March 18th at 9.
Your Honor, this is, excuse me, Robert Dubois, 24 CF 174. He was arraigned in a new law case last week on February 13th. That case was continued to the April 14th day. If you can enter a denial in this case, and if it could track the new law, we would be satisfied.
Okay.
The state is gonna seek a violation of probation hearing,
Okay.
so we can do it after the April date.
7.5 months in.
I know that I've set another VOP on, I think, the 22nd of May.
Okay. If you'll just reach out to Amanda and we'll get that set.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
For now, should we put it on the April date? Just
Yes.
to-
For now, we will move the VOP, or put the next court date in 24 CF 174 to April 14th at 9. I'm assuming that's the date for the new law, which is 25 CF 67. Whatever date that new law is on is when we'll set the VOP.
Yes, I think it's the 14th.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Warrior, 18 CF 2257, excuse me, and 18 CF 1362. Excuse me. Mr. Warrior will enter a denial in the VOPs, both of them today. I am speaking with Ms. Basso about these cases. Hopefully we can resolve them at the next date.
Okay. So March 18th at 9.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are there any more at this juncture?
I think that's all. Yep, that's all of mine, Your Honor. I think Mr. Gates has.
Okay. Yes.
You know, this is gonna be Miss Mauricia Knox before the court.
Okay, and
25 CF 92, and then she's got the VOP, which I think is 22 CF.
1353 under the last name of Reed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
We have filed a motion to withdraw in both cases. I have an order for the court only covering one case. I don't know if the court wants to
I'll,
write in the other case
Yes.
as well.
Thank you.
We can go ahead and get her over to RCC.
Wonderful, thank you.
She have a lawyer, she got Willie Powell,
Unfortunately, we've already approved it, so there's not much I can do.
so I can't get no bond on my BOP.
Not right now, and based upon the way she's been rolling, is if you are on VOP and you pick up a new charge, she hasn't been given bond.
Okay, this is in both cases. I wrote the other case somewhere on there, but it's in both. Thank you. Did you say you're entering a denial on the VOP?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll do
Okay.
that for today. If we could move her to a VOP date in early March, she's been asking for a bond hearing. That'll give Mr. Harper time to meet with her as a status date.
Okay.
And then if he needs to file one there versus going to April. Okay, so you're coming back in March for a potential bond hearing. Okay.
Let me check on a couple of dates.
And the court is relieved the public defender's office.
Yes, and I'm appointing regional conflict counsel on both cases. That's 25 CF 92 and 22 CF 1353.
Thank you.
And Mr. Harper was here earlier, but he finished his cases, so he's already left, but he'll be notified that he's been appointed, okay?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Sure, I'm just looking for a court date in March. So, ma'am, if you'll just hold on a second, I'm going to give you a court date. We can set this case on March 20th. And I'm looking at the morning. Well, you know what? Maybe I should wait until Mr. Harper.
Well, the reason I want to go ahead and set it, Your Honor, is because it'll give him time to meet with her and get that paperwork. Otherwise, if we wait too long, we're talking April or even May before she might get another hearing date. So I at least want to try and help her get in sooner if I can, Your Honor.
Okay. So how about the morning of, let me see when he has cases that day. We can set the case actually in the afternoon on March 20th.
Yes, Your Honor.
At 2:30,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure, that'll be on both cases.
And Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, Mr. Harper's client, Mr. Banks, who entered a plea earlier today, I do have a score sheet here. Can I?
Yes,
before I
thank you.
forget? Go ahead, bring that up. And he does have a score.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll go ahead and take a brief recess. That'll give everybody time to work on the agreements they're doing. So we're going to be in recess for about, how long do y'all need?
Your Honor, I have 3 more agreements to write up for out of custody. Then I have 3 inmates that I need to see what we're doing on them.
Okay.
So I'm going to need more like 30 minutes, but I think my colleague is going to be ready to go.
I just need to get my plea agreements from the printer.
That's fine.
Ready?
How about if we take about, we'll come back at 11.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
Not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Island's burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestview.agent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and that's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Rodick Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestvew's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Rodick Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestvew's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestvew's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know that you
2895.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state and the defense have reached an agreement. My client has one brief question, if I could have 1 second to ask the
Sure.
state attorney. Thank you.
I'll take it.
Okay. I just need to have my client sign the plea agreement.
Okay.
Can I get my time for it? Okay, I mean, that I was waiting for it.
Yeah. You already get that. Yeah.
I'll get all my credits for it.
No problem. Your Honor, I have a plea agreement and a score sheet here.
Thank you.
So this is exactly what you scored to. You fixed it because there was the mistake. Okay.
Thank you so much. All right.
This is your copy. Do you want it? Yes, please. Yeah.
The new case. Thank you. All right, ma'am, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Could you state your name, please?
Patricia Amelia Davis.
Thank you. In case 24 CF 2895, you're charged with one count of felony petty theft, which is a third-degree felony. And in cases 22 CF 1502, 21 CF 437, and 20 CF 1186, there are allegations that you violated your probation. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the new charge of felony petty theft and the allegations you violated your probation in those other three cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature on the next to the last page?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand you're giving up your right to have a trial in the new case and make the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand you're giving up your right to have a contested hearing in your violation of probation cases and make the state prove those allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, Your Honor, I realized that I neglected to include revoke and terminate probation
I
in
will
those
write
BOP
that.
cases. I apologize.
No problem. Let me write that
Just want to
down.
make sure that she is not inadvertently put back on papers when
And
she's
that's
released.
without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. I apologize.
Sure, no, I wrote that on here, no problem. Ma'am, are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's on your plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes.
Did she answer all of your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, anything in the last 24 hours that affects your ability to understand what you're doing?
No, ma'am.
On the new law, is there any DNA?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
I do find a sufficient factual basis based on the arrest report in the new law. Ma'am, do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea could subject you to deportation?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
All right, in case 24 CF 1206, how do you plead to one count of felony petty theft?
No contest.
I accept your plea. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. In case 22 CF 1502, 21 CF 437, and 20 CF 1186, are you admitting to the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your admission in all of those cases. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. I have a score sheet that shows 62.2 total sentence points. Any objections or corrections?
No, Your Honor, she's being sentenced to the guidelines.
Yes, the guidelines are 25.65 months. That's the lowest permissible prison sentence under the guidelines. So, ma'am, I'm going to sentence you in accordance with your agreement. In case 24 CF 1206, there will be an adjudication of guilt, sentence of 25.65 months state prison, credit for time served, $515 in court costs, $150 public defender fee, that includes the application fee. You'll have 24 months to pay after you are released. In 22 CF 1502, I'm revoking and terminating probation. If you were not previously adjudicated guilty of the underlying charge, you are now. You are sentenced to 25.65 months in the Department of Corrections, State Prison, credit for all time served, concurrent with all other cases and counts. $100 public defender fee, $100 cost of prosecution, and 24 months to pay that as well after your release. 21 CF 437, revoke and terminate probation. If you weren't adjudicated on the underlying charge, you are now adjudicated guilty. 25.65 months state prison, Department of Corrections, credit for all time served, concurrent with all counts, all cases. $100 public defender fee, $100 cost of prosecution fee, 24 months to pay after you're released. And in 2020, CF 1186, revoke and terminate probation. If you were not already adjudicated guilty of the underlying charge, you are adjudicated guilty now. And 25.65 months state prison, credit for all time served, concurrent with all counts, all cases, $100 public defender fee, $100 cost of prosecution fee, 24 months to pay that after you are released. All cases, all counts will run concurrently with each other, and credit for time served on all of them. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you cannot afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one.
Yeah, really quick, I believe on the new law violation, the case number is incorrect.
Oh, gosh.
24
is it?
CF 2895.
Yes, I'm sorry. On this, it's something else somewhere else. You're right.
Oh.
It's 24 CF 2895, not 1206. I'll correct it on here. Thank you. So
And
everything.
also there are some misdemeanor counts in the violation of probation.
What about the misdemeanor counts in the violation of probation?
Your credit for time served.
Okay, credit for time served on all misdemeanor counts in the violation of probation cases.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Did I get, I got the costs right? Okay, great. I corrected that case number. Yes, everything I stated about the felony petty theft new law case, it is 24 CF 2895. Thank you for that. All right, this is front and back. And here is the score sheet.
Your Honor, may I just advise the court, I have 3 agreements for my out of custody people. They have to go out to the hall while I go over their terms.
Sure.
We will only take a few minutes.
No problem. Thank you.
And then I will have, of my 3 inmates, I will have at least 1 agreement, maybe 3.
All right.
I will need a few minutes to talk to them too. I'll have to write some things up. I'm sorry for the backlog, but we've been in court almost every day.
We've been in court solid for almost a
We're
week,
getting
so.
things done.
Yes, we are.
So that's good.
Take your time. So, Mr. Gates, we have some of your cases, if you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whenever you're ready, you just let court security know, they'll bring them out.
Let the court know who they bring out. Are you ready for Gregory Gars? Yes. And this is going to be Mr. Gregory Gars before the court. We have a plea agreement to be filed, if I can allow him to sign it.
All right, this is 23 CF 1494.
And Your Honor, Mr. Gars pled to misdemeanor, so there'll be no score sheet in this. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, sir, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. Could you please state your name?
Gregory Gars.
How do you pronounce it?
Gars is fine.
Thank you. Sir, you're here on allegations you violated your probation in case 23 CF 1494. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about those allegations?
Yes,
Have you discussed the plea agreement with your lawyer?
I did.
Did you read and sign the agreement?
I have.
And is that your signature on page 2?
It is.
Do you understand that you're giving up your right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations?
Yes.
Is anybody forcing you to enter a plea today?
No.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes.
Sir, do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen, the plea could subject you to deportation?
Yes.
And are you admitting to the allegations that you violated your probation, sir?
Yes.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. And I will sentence you in accordance with your plea agreement. There was a previous adjudication of guilt on the underlying misdemeanor charge. If there wasn't, there will be an adjudication now. I'm revoking and terminating your probation. I'm sentencing you to 10 days in the county jail with credit for time served. There will be a $100 cost of prosecution fee, a $150 public defender fee. It says on here $50 VOP fee. Is that?
Misdemeanor, Your Honor.
So I've got a $100 cost of prosecution fee, a $150 public defender fee, and then another $50 VOP fee. One of those.
Yeah, sure. That's the recommendation of JCS because he was on JCS probation. I think they have a separate VOP fee.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right. And A D6 will be entered for all outstanding DUI requirements, and you will have 24 months from the date of your release to pay your outstanding court costs. And with a D6, that's going to affect your license. And as long as these court costs are outstanding, you're going to not be able to get it reinstated. So I would encourage you to work on that as soon as you can. Sir, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you can't afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Graham will be next.
And this is going to Mr. Warren Grant before the court in 22 CF 592. We have a plea agreement to be filed in this case. The state did provide a score sheet, Your Honor. This will not be a downward departure in exchange for the admission today.
Thank you. I haven't seen the agreement yet, but I just want to point out that there is a request in the court file from the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office for reimbursement of transportation costs in the amount of $94.50. Just putting that out there. I don't know.
$94.50, Your Honor?
That's what it says, $94.50.
I'm going to write that on here as well.
Thank you. Apparently, Mr. Graham had to be transported from the Escambia County Jail to here.
If I may approach, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, sir, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. You're here in case 22 CF 592 on allegations that you violated your probation. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about those allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature on page 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand you're giving up your right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, anything in the last 24 hours that affects your ability to understand what you're doing?
No, ma'am.
I do have a score sheet that shows 29.6 total sentence points. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, do you understand the plea may subject you to deportation if you're not a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you admitting the violation of your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. The agreement states there's a previous adjudication of guilt. If there wasn't one, this will be an adjudication of guilt. I'm revoking and terminating your probation. I'm sentencing you to 11 months, 29 days in the county jail with credit for all time served. That credit will include the time you were in the Escambia County Jail. It says on here from June 13th, 2023 to January 24th, 2025.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, I do see that the warrant was issued back in June of 2023. So that means, I mean, that'll, you've been in jail longer than 11 months and 29 days, so you should, I don't know if there's anything else holding you, but as far as this case goes, this shouldn't be holding you after you entered this plea.
Yes, ma'am.
There will be a $100 cost of prosecution fee, a $150 public defender fee, that includes the application fee. Also, $94.50 cost of transportation to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. And you'll have 24 months after you get out to pay those fines and costs before they're sent to collections. I would encourage you to see the clerk and get on a payment plan, because if you don't pay those, then your license is going to get suspended, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you can't afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next up is Heather Johnson.
This is Ms. Johnson before the court. We have a plea agreement to be filed in case I don't have a score sheet for her, though. This table, we'll print that for us. I'll make sure we get it filed today, Your Honor.
Okay,
I have the score sheet
great.
for Ms. Johnson.
Thank you. This is case 23 CF 2801 and 24 CF 2241.
Your Honor, I've looked at the score sheet, reviewed it. We have no objections. It doesn't appear this to be a downward departure. If I may approach her.
Yes. Thank you. I need a little help. It says defendant can provide
Yes, Your Honor.
proof or payment or?
Yes, Your Honor. While it was brief, Ms. Johnson did complete some of the obligations under the original term of probation. We're essentially asking that those be kind of rolled over into the new term so that she doesn't do them again.
Okay, is that word proof or?
Proof.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I needed help with.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. If you'll state your name, please.
Heather Johnson.
Thank you. Ma'am, you're here in case 23 CF 2801 and 24 CF 2241. You're here on allegations that you violated your probation in both of those cases. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement?
I did, yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature on page 2?
Yes, it is.
Do you understand you're giving up your right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations?
Yes, I do.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter a plea?
No,
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
I am. Yes, ma'am.
Did he answer all of your questions?
He did. Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, anything in the last 24 hours that affects your ability to understand what you're doing?
No.
I do have a score sheet that shows 28.6 total sentence points. Any objections or corrections?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, the plea could subject you to deportation?
Yes, I'm a
Thank
U.S.
you.
citizen. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you admitting to the allegations that you violated your probation in both of those cases?
Yes, I am.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily given. In case 23 CF 2801, if there was not already an adjudication of guilt, there is now. Probation will be revoked and terminated, and you will be sentenced to a new term of 12 months of drug offender probation. That will be concurrent to the other case. You will have a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., which can be modified by your probation officer for work purposes. You must complete the original requirements. There will be a $100 cost of prosecution fee and a $150 public defender fee. Probation, it says on here you're agreeing to waive the cost of supervision. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so cost of supervision will be waived, and you can provide proof of any of the previous requirements that you've completed. You don't have to redo them if you can prove that you've done them already.
Okay.
In case 24 CF 2241, if there wasn't previously an adjudication of guilt, I am adjudicating you guilty. Revoking and terminating your probation, sentencing you to a new term of 12 months of drug offender probation, same as the previous case. Curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. You can modify that for work purposes through your probation officer. Complete original requirements. You don't have to redo any requirement if you have proof you already did it. $100 cost of prosecution fee and a $100 public defender fee in that case, and also waive cost of supervision. Thank you to probation for doing that. Did I leave out any terms or conditions?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
All right. So, ma'am, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. And if you cannot afford a lawyer, I will appoint one for you. These 2 terms of probation will run concurrently. And good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I think my 3 clients are ready to go. They're
Okay.
out of custody.
All right.
Your Honor, I believe that I am done with the docket. I may be excused.
Yes, absolutely. And have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Your Honor, I'm going to take, may I proceed?
Yes. Go ahead.
It's going to be alphabetical here. Well, may I go with Tracy Ayers first? She's approaching, and basically we've worked out a plea to the bench agreement that gives the terms.
Okay.
And I'm just making sure that I've signed it, she signed it, and then I will approach if that's okay.
Yes.
And, I'm making a copy on my phone. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
This is not S4 sequence, it's all misdemeanors.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. So under the terms of the agreement, It's on a form that says violation of probation plea agreement. She has 4 misdemeanor VOPs. She's going to be admitting the misdemeanor VOPs. And she was previously adjudicated guilty, as the asterisk says, on misdemeanors. This is not a felony in play here. Defendant pleads to the bench with a cap on incarceration of 11 months, 29 days jail in 23 CF 2070, plus another 11 months, 29 days months, 11.29 months, which is 11 months, 29 days, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied, in 24 CT 715, and no cap on supervision. Thank you.
Sure. So are we going to accept the plea today and then set sentencing another time?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
Because I know that she has 2 former supervisors who she wants to have testify. So after I meet with her, I'll be able to list them in reciprocal discovery. She may have some paperwork that I'll provide in reciprocal, but we do need to set it off if that's okay.
Okay. Well, let me ask probation. Are y'all still supervising her? Is she?
Tracy Ayers, Ayers.
You should still be supervising her because there were 3 consecutive 1129s. 1129 followed by 1129 followed by 1129.
I have been still seeing probation.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So you're out on bond. Probation, if there are any further violations, please send me a warrant.
Yes.
Because it's unusual for me to grant a bond on a VOP. So if there are any further violations, I will be revoking that bond. That's not a threat, but now is the time to comply. Now is not the time to have another violation.
I'm sorry, Judge, I just wanted the court to know that she was also hopefully going to be providing me some proof of her current attendance, at least classes so far, because she says she is currently back to going to the substance.
I have that with me now.
Okay, good. So I wanted the court to know she says she's going to, and she has proof on some of this attendance, so she's trying to get back in good graces on the
Okay.
treatment.
Well, if there are any further violations, your bond will likely be revoked.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just wanting to put you on notice of that. All right, ma'am, I think I swore you in a little while ago.
You did.
You're still under oath. If you'll state your name for me one more time.
Tracy Lynn Ayers.
Thank you. So I've been handed a written agreement. Ma'am, have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes.
Do you understand that by entering this admission, you're giving up your right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the sentence I impose will be completely up to me within the parameters of the agreement that you entered, which I'll read out in a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone, including your attorney or anyone else, promised you a particular sentence other than the cap that is showing in this written agreement?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that under the agreement, the maximum that could be imposed would be 2 consecutive terms of 11 months, 29 days in the county jail, and then that could be followed by additional probation or community control?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you to enter the plea today?
No, ma'am.
Are you on any medication, alcohol, drugs, anything that affects your ability to understand what we're doing today?
No, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyer about your decision to enter this admission?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you admitting to the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. That'll apply to all 4 of the cases. Well, I'm sorry, all 2 cases, but there are multiple counts on the felony case. That's 23 CF 2070. There were 3 counts. And then 24 CT 715. That's a misdemeanor. So let's schedule sentencing. I will postpone sentencing until, I think earlier we were looking at a date in March.
I think we were saying March 19th, perhaps?
Maybe so. Actually, I think I will set this for March 20th after arraignments. So we'll say 2:30. I think we're probably loading up that afternoon pretty heavily, but I'm having trouble finding a better date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ma'am, I'm ordering you to be present in my courtroom on March 20th at 2:30. That's a Thursday. You need to stay in touch with Mr. Medina because he'll be working on your behalf and he'll need to talk to you. If you fail to appear on March 20th, then a warrant will likely be issued. I know you'll be here, but I gotta tell you the consequences, all right? So, thank you, ma'am. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next is Mr. Robert A. Brazil. We're good? Any more questions? Your Honor, I'm making a copy of this. I think because it's kind of complicated, I need to show it to probation so they can make a copy on their phone too, if I may, Judge.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry that I had to write this up by hand.
No, it's no problem.
You mind taking the picture, sir? It's kind of elaborate. And I do need to show him his score sheet that we've previously discussed, but just make sure he sees it. Okay, so that's your score. Okay, so now let me. May I have a moment
Yes, sure.
to state this is score? It's termination without revocation. State has graciously made a change to comport with this agreement, and I just want to show them.
Sure.
So the 12 points comes off, okay, because you're not actually admitting the VOP. Okay? It's going to be terminated without revocation. So that brought your points down to 21.6. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you.
With the agreement and score sheet, and it is a bit unusual.
Thank you.
And a bit may be a understatement, so I do need to explain what's going on because it makes abundant sense, but it is a bit unusual.
So
Your
there
Honor,
are 3 cases.
Yes, Judge. There's only a VOP in the 21 CF 3134 case at this time. Basically, there's another case with an open unpaid restitution amount. That's 23 CF 2507. There was another case, and there technically is a third case that's in the VOP, but in that case, 22 CF 2455, the alleged victim did not come forward with restitution paperwork, so there was no liquidated restitution amount except in the 21 CF 3134 case, which is ripe, and that's the pending VOP. But basically the way it worked in all three of these cases, basically he had two old cases, 21 CF 3134 and 22 CF 2455, when I was helping him with a third case, which is the 23 CF case. And the way and I do have, it might actually not be a bad idea to present to the court the agreement that was entered in that case, so you would see how it all worked, but I'm just going to approach Judge. May I approach Judge?
Yes.
We entered a plea and sentence agreement that was primarily driven, it was June 17, 2024 with Judge Ketchel. It was primarily driven by the 23 CF case, which was the open case. But basically what Judge Ketchel tried to do is kind of lay it all out, because he already had the 21 CF and 22 CF cases. So basically what Judge Ketchel did not want to do was have the 23 CF case, which had restitution, skip over the other cases. Because, so basically a omnibus plea was entered in June of 2024 that discussed all three of the cases. And the way it was supposed to work is that he was supposed to go back to paying probation on the 21 CF case. And that's the case where it's stipulated that on the VOP that he has the financial inability to pay that outstanding amount. So that would be, under this agreement, going to lien. But we did not want, and the state agrees it would make no sense, if he has the financial inability to pay the 21 CF case, the 23 CF case, the way it's written, would automatically then come due. He doesn't have the financial ability to pay the 21 CF or the 23 CF case. There is no restitution in the 22 CF. But basically the way this would work is that all the probation would terminate without revocation, and he would not be under probation anymore. That's what we've discussed with the state. And the specifics are set forth in the agreement. It would be terminate probation without revocation in 21 CF 3134 and 22 CF 2455 and 23 CF 3134. Defendant would maintain his withholds of adjudication in all three of the cases. The outstanding monetary obligations would go to collections or lien, and specifically the state also wrote in to make absolutely clear, restitution is also going to civil lien. Financial inability to pay is stipulated. I know this is unusual, but it seems to make a rational sense, and that's the agreement, Your Honor.
What was the restitution amount in the 2021 case?
The 2021 case, the original restitution, which I have that old agreement that preceded myself. Can I approach with that?
Yes, or I can look it up.
Well, it's right here, Judge.
Okay.
Though, is that Sherry Lee? Cheryl Lee?
Yes.
Okay, so Cheryl Lee, it looks like it says 9K restitution. So 9,000 restitutions to Cheryl Lee, if I'm reading this correctly.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And I'm also going to look at the,
Your Honor, the state, the victim she's no longer here, but she was here last court date and here today, and their wish is this to go to a civil lien, the restitution amount.
You're right.
The victim's wishes are.
Your Honor, I was just explaining to Mr. Brazil, I was trying to listen to the state. Can I listen to Mr. Brazil for a moment, Your Honor?
Sure.
Just in case he had something to tell me. Okay, so he's saying that on that original $9,000 to Cheryl Lee, that he had paid approximately $2,000 or so on restitution. So it wasn't the whole balance. It's less than whatever he did pay in.
Okay, and then,
And I do have the order of probation when we entered the order of probation related to 23 CF 2507. May I approach with that?
yes,
Because that shows that's a Mr. Pringle.
$23,628.
Yes, right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How much was paid on that?
I don't think he started that. He's basically, the way it works is he was supposed to work on the leave before that starts. So he's never started those payments.
And I see there's a stipulation that Mr. Brazil is unable to pay. On what basis?
Do you want, I think that there was an analysis that was done by state probation that's in the recommendation, that it has words to that effect.
Okay, I'll take a look.
And so that's the starting place. And then it's totally appropriate if the court, obviously, however the court wants to proceed, but he's ready to go under oath and he can provide testimony about his situation that he's been going through, right? There may be some further information from probation in probation notes, because the recommendation that I was seeing, I think, was the most recent one was back in October 2024. And there has been some discussion since then, because basically he's having a hard time getting work because of the charges and what they did to his reputation and so forth. So I'm not, trying to cast aside blame, but basically he's been having to find work where he can get it, and he's been having trouble with becoming a payroll employee. So some of this is a little bit dated in terms of trying to get a job with pay stubs and so forth. He may have information.
So it's not a physical inability to work?
No, ma'am, and nor a disinclination to work. It's just, I think he also has a disabled wife that he provides care and support for, and the court may want to have him to address that.
So I'm looking at this agreement, and I understand the state made the offer, and it's been signed. I understand the state's spoken to the victim, one of them. But I'm also looking at over $30,000 in unpaid restitution and continuing to maintain a withhold adjudication. This is the second violation of probation, not the first one. So the court is not inclined to approve this agreement.
Your Honor, the state would be ready to move to set this for hearing at this point.
The court is not inclined to maintain a withhold adjudication and walk away from restitution with that kind of money owed to more than one victim. Not inclined to maintain a withhold, especially since this is not the first violation of probation.
May I ask a point of clarification to the court?
Sure.
If he goes ahead forward with the agreement, the court would adjudicate him guilty and would that apply to all three cases, only one or two or three, or how, and also, otherwise, would the court be inclined to grant the relief requested of sending to collections and lien in the cases?
Let me ask the state.
Your Honor, the state's ready to set this for a hearing at this point.
Okay. And you mentioned you spoke with Miss Lee. What about the other victim?
Those, Your Honor, I don't see exact contact's been made.
Okay.
Since the violation has happened, I do see, well, previously in my note, an
Your Honor.
attempt, but I don't think we've made actual contact just yet.
Do you need to make contact before we proceed with whatever we might do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Mhm.
one possibility, may I?
Yes.
Because I'd actually thought of this and mentioned it to him at some point a week or so ago. Rather than set it for a VOP evidentiary, we could set it for a status. We could give notice to the alleged victim, the victim in Pringle in 23 CF 2507. And we could also send an invite to Conrad, even though there wasn't a restitution claim in 22 CF 2455. We could set it for a status conference and send them notice. And then that way they could come, and also the state would be reaching out to them.
Right, the state's ready to set it for a hearing with subpoenas, whether I contact
Okay.
them and they voluntarily show up or not, or with a subpoena, we can address that all in one court date.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just not inclined to just, I mean, this looks like, no offense, sir, but it looks like you're being rewarded for not complying, because you would be maintaining a withhold adjudication on 2 second-degree felonies and a third-degree felony. You've had a prior violation of probation, and you're walking away with a civil lien totaling $30,000, which the victims might as well hang that on their wall, frankly. Because they're not going to get any money out of it. So I'm not inclined to maintain a withhold adjudication, absolutely not, and under these circumstances and these terms. So I don't know if the state needs to talk to the other victim or if y'all need to go back to the drawing board, but I'm not maintaining a withhold and then just end probation and send all of this restitution to a lien. I mean, I think the whole point of probation was likely to get the victims made whole, and it doesn't appear that's going to happen. So, yes, I feel strongly about this one. I don't normally reject agreements, but this time, I can't sign off on that.
Your Honor, he's wanting to say something, but I'm going to have him tell me what it is before.
Sure, let me
says
turn on the
certain-
noise.
Mr. Brazil has one thing to say. I don't think it's prejudicial for him to say it, but I'm not advising him to say it because I think it's better to be saved until we have a VOP evidentiary hearing. But if he wants to say something, he can.
I don't, just for your benefit, I don't know if it's going to make any difference today. We're going to set this for another hearing so that the state can give notice to the other victim and they can be heard if they wish. It's your decision if you want to say anything.
Does the court wish to consider the calendar for a VOP evidentiary?
Yes. Let me send a message to my judicial assistant.
Should he sit down and we'll proceed with something else, or?
Just 1 second. I know I set something already on the morning of March 19th, but we've set so many things in the last few days, I don't recall what it is. It was a special set for 2 hours.
You just received the email on it.
Oh, great. Thank you.
VOP evidentiary for March 19th for 2 hours.
At 9? Okay, thank you. So we do have a VOP evidentiary on March 19th from 9 to 11. I cannot remember whose case that is. I don't remember if it involves y'all or not.
I cannot remember either, Your Honor. Could he go after the 11?
At 11, we could do it.
That's fine with the state, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's March 19th.
It's a Wednesday. March 19th at 11. Well, do you think you're going to need more than an hour?
That should be enough time for the state.
I don't think we'll need more than an hour, Your Honor.
Okay.
He had a question.
Yes,
Was it
sir.
about scheduling?
No. Ma'am, if I may,
Yes.
the reason for not paying the restitution on probation, as my previous hearing with you, I had 9 interviews with companies due to these charges of my business dealings with my business and being a certified business with these customers, and just the situations going just financially downhill. It wasn't because I maliciously stole any monies. It was just a project and the situations. Being on probation, I miss work. Every day I have to come to court. Every day I have to go check in. I just retained a full-time position as a project manager. So the more I can be on the job with my guys and my manager, the more I can get this taken care of. And that's why they came up with the agreement. I can take care of the $35,000 if it goes to lien a lot easier than being on probation.
Well, there's nothing preventing you from paying that off early.
The only reason I haven't made any significant payments in the past is due to being denied jobs and work
Right.
due to these charges and being on probation.
Sounds like you have a job now.
Yes, ma'am, I just started.
That's good.
And I also take care of a fully disabled wife with no compensation and all her co-pays and.
I'm sure when
all
we
the
hear
bills and
from the
everything.
victims, they will have unfortunate circumstances too. So I have set your hearing for March 19th at 11. And let's see where we are on that day. All right, for 1 hour. That's on a Wednesday, so it's not our normal criminal day. I opened up another day to try to accommodate some of these hearings.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm not willing to accept any agreement that doesn't involve an adjudication of guilt. So,
Yes.
under these circumstances, unless there's something just unbelievable that, as I sit here right now, that is my position.
I don't think those circumstances exist, Your Honor.
If the circumstances drastically change, of course, we'll reconsider and listen to the evidence.
Thank you.
Sure. Has there been a warrant or anything issued in these other 2 cases
No, Judge,
or an
'cause
allegation?
They haven't come right.
Okay.
The restitution and other monetary obligations
Gotcha.
has not sprung forward.
Got you. Okay, you were
because-
modifying just to take care of everything.
Yes.
In advance. Okay, I got it. All right.
They have never become right. It's due, liquidated in the 23 CF case,
Okay.
but never came payable. And it was not due and payable at this time, because he has to due and payable on the 21 CF first.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we're going to set all 3 just in case, so that way the clerk is prepared with their paperwork and everything. We'll set all 3 in case there's a resolution.
Okay, thank you,
Okay?
Your Honor.
Sure. All right. Sir, I'm ordering you to be present on March 19th at 11 o'clock. If you fail to appear, a warrant will likely be issued for your arrest. So it's
Yes,
important
ma'am.
that you
I'll be
be
here.
here. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Next is Jamari L. Bush he's with his mother.
Okay.
He's competent and an adult, but she's enormously helpful to him. He
Okay.
lives with her. He pays $1,000, I believe, in child support, and that's kind of been background in this situation.
Okay.
He has provided his proof about the completion of his community service hours. And may I approach with the agreement?
Yes.
And this is going to be excuse me, I need to mention a change on the score sheet to the
Sure.
state, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for getting that community service done.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you for your patience this morning. I know it's been a long morning for you.
No, it's okay. I don't mind.
Thank you.
Well, no, because it's had prior BOPs. Hasn't he? This is his first. So at least 12 would go on. I would take 6 off. I believe. Let me triple check here.
You know, we're trying to check on Jamari Bush because he
Okay.
had, it looks like to me he had 2 prior reinstatements, and so that's going to be, this is the 3rd, so you're probably needing to just take 6 off because at least the way this is proposed, he's not admitting the current BOP. It's going to be a expiration by termination.
Okay.
So I think just 6 comes off. So you just do the minus the 28 and then times 0.75.
No, that makes sense.
No. So 48 minus 28. That's gonna be. Okay, all right. That first page, I seem to have. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. So, your score is going to be bad because we took 6 points off that, but your score still would be scoring prison, but it's not going to be a prison deal.
UPS store is going to be here again Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
We'll probably break for lunch after this case unless there's anyone else out of custody. Okay, so.
Court read the agreement, or should I announce what was written? We're obviously seeking guidance from the court as the court sees fit, but however the court wishes to proceed, I can read my handwriting or the court.
So let me make sure that I understand it.
His probation, by the way, I think it had a mid-January 2025 termination date. So basically, we were just going to have that become fully operative and
Okay, and then just,
send the outstanding, basically, I think he probably had already had a waiver of his cost of supervision, including arrearages. We do need to clarify that on the record, and there are some court costs. I think it's over $1,400 that would have to be going to collections. He did have the opportunity, but he could only do so much in the time that he had. I'm sure the court would have let him do some additional community service for some of those costs, but I'm sure some would not be able to be done, and I'm never really clear on how much you can work off in these situations. But obviously the batter's intervention is the main one.
looks like in the affidavit, the most recent one, there is $350 that's in arrears for, well, actually, I guess that's court costs.
So I guess they did pay a bunch of...
It is in the CT case. That's $350 in the CT case.
Oh, okay.
And then $1,424.68 in the 2019 CF 1059.
Right. And...
Okay, so it's
Judge,
court costs.
It looks like I did write in there, because I honestly, I didn't know anything about the 23 CT case, but I just knew that it showed up in the paperwork. And I wrote in there in the agreement that VOP was dismissed by Judge Schlechter on February 3rd in 23 CT 2887. So I'm not sure why the county court took jurisdiction, because it had, I guess, been resolved as part of this case, but it looks like it came up anyway on February 3rd and it was dismissed.
Is probation still ongoing in that case? Let me look that up.
I don't know why it's on the paperwork, but it is. I tried to sort it out, and that's...
His probation is past term. It ended February the 3rd of this year.
Okay, and so...
That's on that misdemeanor case?
It looks like the misdemeanor, it says probation terminated on that case. That's 23 CT 2887.
And it was just a second degree, it was a second degree misdemeanor.
I see a payment of $350
Okay,
in court
so they
costs.
paid that one off.
My mama paid it.
Okay.
It sounds like you have a wonderful mother who is extremely supportive of you, sir. You're fortunate to have her.
I get it back from him.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that 23 CT 2887 is dismissed, terminated, paid off, all good. So I'm just going to take it off of this agreement because there's nothing
Good.
left to do
Yes, Judge.
on that case.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm sorry I couldn't get it fully sorted out. but-
No, this, no
Thank you.
problem. All right, sir, if you'll just raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. Can you state your name for me?
Jamari Laquan Bush.
Thank you. We're here in case 19 CF 1059. And you're alleged to have violated your probation in that case. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about those allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you read the agreement? And is that your signature on the back?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, I do need to clarify, I went over key terms, and his mother also
Okay.
read word for word.
Okay. Sir, do you understand that by entering into the agreement, you're giving up your right to have a contested hearing in the case, like a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you admitting to the violations of your probation?
Your Honor, I think I might need to, there may be a, because I was using the form. I know that it does state in the body of terms of that he was admitting the violation. I think there's I need to clarify on that given that he is financially unable to complete outstanding
Okay.
requirements, I was not envisioning that he would be admitting it, but
Okay.
it is in that terminology, and I probably need to
Let me-
excise that in paragraph 5.
Let me just make sure I'm understanding. We're terminating probation. We're reducing all of the outstanding court costs or other financial obligations to a lien, correct?
Yes.
And excusing the BIP requirement due to lack of ability to pay. Is that right?
That's exactly
I mean, is
correct.
that what the aim of the agreement is just to
Yes.
terminate probation, reduce the costs to a lien, and be done?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, he doesn't need to admit
I-
to that if that's what the state is willing to do?
Right.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was my understanding, but unfortunately, I just used the same form.
That's
I
fine.
apologize. I
No
should have
problem.
caught that.
So, sir,
I'm
is that
sorry.
what you want to do?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
Just terminate your probation, and do you understand that any outstanding court costs, like unpaid court costs? I know you took care of the the traffic case. You paid that off about 2 weeks ago. But if you have any outstanding or unpaid court costs in this felony case, those are going to go to a lien. Do you understand that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What that means is it's like a judgment against you. It can affect your driver's license if you don't pay it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let your attorney explain that
Your Honor,
better than me.
I explained to him and his mother that the court might allow him 30 days to meet with the clerk's office to see if he can establish a schedule for the monetary obligations as to the court costs, and as to the cost of supervision, including arrearages, I'm hoping those can be waived.
Let me ask probation, they may have already been. Does he have any arrearages on cost of supervision?
None.
Okay, so it's just court costs then.
Can he get on a payment plan? If probation is terminated, he can get on there.
Okay. You can get on a payment plan.
Thank you.
Yes, you'll have to go see the clerk of court, work out a payment plan with them. They'll work with you.
Yes.
And you've got to make your monthly payments. And as long as you're current on those payments to pay off these court costs, then your driver's license isn't going to be affected by these court costs. Now, I can't speak for anything else that could be going on with your driver's license, but I can tell you that if you get on a payment plan with the clerk for these costs and you're current on your payments, you don't miss any, then they will not send it off to Highway Safety Motor
I'm sorry to
Vehicles.
interrupt,
Yeah.
Judge. I just wanted his mother to know that when you meet with the clerk's office, make sure you bring paperwork and make them aware of the child support issue, because that also
I got
goes to
some
the
pay
court.
stubs.
I got you.
Yeah, they will work with you, and
And
there's a
then I-
formula they use.
And I wanted to emphasize with you, because you do have a valid driver's license, that this is super important.
Yes,
Because
sir.
you don't want to get a suspension
No.
if you don't stay within it. If you, assuming
Yeah.
you do meet with them and they approve a schedule, you got to stay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's monthly payments, and
Yes,
then
ma'am.
that'll keep you from having your license suspended for these unpaid costs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I need my license.
okay.
So is that a complaint? So once it's not paid within 24 months, then that's when it goes to collections.
I'm going to probably require them to come see, get on a plan within 30 days. Sure. So I don't even know if I need to do this agreement or not. I mean, if we're just terminating and requiring Mr. Bush to see the clerk within 30 days to get on a payment plan.
I think it's probably not necessary,
Yeah.
Judge.
So I'm just going to hand it back to you because I don't think I need it.
Okay.
I think we're good, because based on what the state's willing, thank you.
Yes, Judge.
What the state's willing to do, and we're just dealing with court costs, the court, I mean, I think the parties have stipulated there's not an ability to pay for the BIP. So, I don't know how I need to put this in an order, but I'm sure probation will know better than me how to put this in an order.
I think a lot of times if it's just terminated by expiration, do you
Yeah.
do an additional order?
Actually, we don't, it's just going to be normal termination.
Okay.
It's just
so-
terminated, and then the clerk's minutes will reflect that he's got to meet with the clerk about establishing a schedule, because if you don't, beginning in 30 days, it's all going to go against your license, and you could get a
Yeah.
suspension.
So just go see them within 30 days to work out the plan.
Okay.
Okay, that doesn't mean you have to pay the full amount within 30 days. You have to go see them and get on a plan, an agreement with them for a monthly payment. They'll work with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that way you can keep your license.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
In this
you.
case, sure. The court, based on the stipulation of the parties, will excuse the BIP requirement, and then probation will just expire and terminate in that way. And I suppose is the VOP affidavit then dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
VOP affidavit is dismissed, and I'm noting that Mr. Bush did complete all of the community service. He did fulfill that requirement. He also paid the $350 court cost in the CT case. That probation is dismissed and terminated. So we're only dealing with the court costs in 19 CF 1059, and Mr. Bush is going to go see the clerk and get on a payment plan to keep his license.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor, and the
Thank
state
you.
for working with
Thank
Mr.
you.
Bush. Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. Thank you, ma'am. I don't, are there any representation costs if the VOP is dismissed?
Okay. The state's not going to be asking for any.
Okay. Mr. Medina, would there be a representation fee if the VOP is dismissed?
I think that because the VOP was dismissed, there will not be a representation fee.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Never
So,
say that, but it's just disappeared.
It's
Ether.
disappeared. Your Honor, I know the court has mentioned a break. Mr. Sprouse and I approach on one matter before the court does take a break.
sure.
Expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and that's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
All right, I see we have some people in the courtroom. I don't know if it's a case on the docket.
Oh, no, man, this is just some prints that I'm gonna take. Everything's fine on this.
Okay, wonderful. So we will come back after lunch. How about 1 hour? Does that give y'all enough time?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
Yes,
you
Your
have
Honor.
your own rights here.
Okay. I'll see everybody back in 1 hour. We're